Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Rimshots with Sean, brought to you by Barstools and Bandtalk. I was at Far Out Fest a few weeks ago, and it always amazes me the talent that we have in this province. But this band played. It was on the Saturday, and you know what? Very, very impressed. I was out front watching them, and they did a Firehouse tune. As soon as you guys did that, you had me, man. That was awesome. We have the boys and girl from Faultline. How you doing tonight?
Good, good.
Awesome. So, Tanya, we'll start with you. I made the comment to you that, well, outside of the comment about you can't be a bass player because you're reloading gear, which is, true. But, you guys, you told me, I guess, when we were texting that you've pretty much only played in your own neck of the woods so far.
Yeah, pretty much. It's our first summer playing together, so we just focused on getting gigs, getting out there, getting to show what we can offer. And so yeah, we did have quite a few gigs this summer, but yeah, only played down home pretty much so far.
Okay, so and I know Jason Saunier, and I was with him at Riverfest last week, and he was kind of giving me the lay of the land, I guess, down there in terms of shows and what's down there that you guys can play.
There's a few festivals like Far Out Fest was a big one for music. There's a lot of Digby. They have some music nights quite often, and then you have the Coal Shed that offers music sessions a few times a week, and then Sea Fest in Yarmouth as well. So there's a few festivals that do have some music oriented spots. So yeah.
So Luke, and hopefully I get this right, and if I don't, correct me. I was talking to, I don't know if it was Jason, one of those guys. I said your dad used to play in a band with them or something. Is that right?
Yes, my father's a local talent around. He's been playing his whole life, so I guess it was just natural for me to blend into the role as well. But he's played in quite a few bands down locally here. Played lead guitar mostly.
And obviously, coming from a musical family, you learn your chops and stuff. What's the I guess the scene like down there? Because when I talk to Jason, I mean Jason's in about 15 to 20 different bands. It seems like, but it seems like a small community. But from what I get is that you're either good or you don't play because there's what's down there for musicians is very, very, very high level.
Right. Yeah. I think down here you'll find every second or third house basically has great musicians down here. I think it's more directed towards bluegrass and country music for the most part, but we try to bring the younger crowds out and try to rock for them. I mean, I know it's not a big taste around here, but we try to make it work.
Well, I've had the opportunity to interview some people from the '80s hair genre that guys from Great White and XYZ and stuff like that. And the question I always ask them is, the '90s for me, I just like to say whatever. I mean, like I wasn't a Pearl Jam fan. I didn't mind Alice in Chains, but I kind of the whole "we're successful, we hate our lives" thing didn't sort of jive too well with me. The kind of the '80s, like, and I'll say like early '80s. Well, that whole I guess '89. It seems to have been making a comeback. You got the Monsters and Rock stuff. You got the Cruises. All this. What do you guys think is the reason? I'll throw it to Leon. I mean, like you the night that or the day that I saw you guys play, you guys did Moby Dick, and I mean, like Moby. I wasn't even alive when that thing was recorded, for God's sake, right? But why do you think this music is still kind of holding on?
It's like waves. I think it's coming back. For me, when I was in high school, I'd listen to classic rock only, pretty much Metallica and thrash metal, '80s, glam rock, stuff like that. I haven't really listened to like pop music or anything. So for me, I never been into that style of music. Only classic glam rock and Moby Dick. That was a cool song. That Led Zeppelin's always awesome, and I listened to pretty much that kind of style of music all my life. So for me.
Well, that's probably why we got along so well when we first chatted. Because I mean, like, you probably won't find anything past 1989. It's hair metal and classic rock and serious for me, right? And I like what I like, and I don't color outside of the lines too much. It's unfortunately, I guess, a weakness that I have. But the thing about, and we're going to go over to the bass player because hey, we got to include bass players. They beat up on them a lot. But you had the bass, you had the drums that were grooving, you had the guitar stars back then, and then you had the big vocals. Do you think maybe that's part of what's kind of getting people in there now? It's real people playing real things.
I think it plays a big part of it for sure. I think like the feel and the soul of it really transpires through the instruments a bit more, and it's like when you hear someone playing an instrument, you can literally feel, you can hear their tendencies and their style and what they're doing specifically. Whether today it's like you can make really cool beats in a computer and stuff, but everybody else has access to the exact same beat. Like, not, I know it's kind of cliche at this point, but tone is in the fingers, right? So it's all, everybody's got their own thing going on, and I think the uniqueness is what really brings it through all throughout the year.
No question. I mean, when everything was shut down and all we had was YouTube, I kind of geeked out, and I would find like isolated drum tracks and vocal tracks and things like that. And the drum tracks blew me away because you'd listen to something like Burn by Deep Purple, and you'd hear some of the little bit of flubs that they left on the record, but those are the things that made it sound real, right?
Yeah, totally. It's everything that anything and everything that can add character to a song is just the more the merrier, really. So adds that taste to it.
Right on. So again, guys, I'm not a corporate sellout, but there's my official side hustle sticker. You can see it right there. Just in front of my Molson Canadian Coors Light banner, but I'm not a corporate sellout, yet I am. Tanya, so one of the things, and I don't know if you find it, but, you know, let's call it what it is, right? It's, but Nova Scotia, it's not just Nova Scotia, it's kind of male-dominated, right? Do you get feedback sometimes that people actually find it refreshing that there's a female in the band?
I hope people find it refreshing. I mean, I know that we come across many times at our practices when we're trying to get a new song going, always got to bring it up. Always going to bring it up because every time we pick a song, it's always a male vocalist, right?
Yeah.
So I find it pretty cool just having to find some way to play it so that I can hit the notes properly and that we can make it work, right? So it brings a little bit of our uniqueness into it. But I don't know. I wish there was a few more female singers around here. I know there's not very many down here, but hey, Michelle did a killer job on Friday. I really enjoyed that. It was refreshing as well. So, I mean, yeah, I hope.
And that's a good point. There's not a lot of female singers up here, to be honest with you. And when a good one gets on stage that has some presence and a good voice, it really raises the bar, it changes the game. And I guess the reason why I asked you that point is because, you know, when you hear a good singer that's female, that's one thing. When you hear a singer that isn't good that's female, that's another. And it goes the same way with guys. But I'm used to, you know, maybe hearing kind of like the girls are maybe a little bit mousy and whatnot. You didn't have that. I told you that day, I thought your pitch was very good. Timing for singers and you know, Leon as a drummer will, all you guys as players will say this. If the singer's got bad timing, that's a rough thing to do. Who are some of your influences that, you know, that you grew up listening to?
For myself?
Yeah.
Oh, it depends on the day. It really depends on the I go from Kings of Leon to Billy Talent to lately it's been a lot of Guns N' Roses to Stone Sour. Sometimes when I was younger, most of the time when I was younger, Cherry Homes, way back to Bluegrass, Harmonies, I couldn't get over them. And I think that helped me a lot to try and place a note where it was, but also know differences and melodies and harmonies and what's the right note to be on. And I think that helped me a lot. I never took lessons. I never was able to just have the opportunity to, because down home, like, there's not much going on for that. I could have probably tried, but yeah. So
well, I got a rule of thumb. So if I'm in the audience playing, and whether I like a band or not, I will sit there, I'll be polite, I'll clap, I'll drink my beer. and I kind of expect the same thing if somebody's in an audience when I'm playing. When I heard you guys, I looked around to everybody that was sitting with me, and I'm like, what's going on here? Because, I mean, there were some good bands down there, but you guys are, you're younger, and I'm sitting there, and you guys are doing songs that, let's call it what it is. A lot of them were written before you guys were even around. But you're doing them the right way, like what I would call the right way. I mean, when I was growing up, man, if you did a rap tune, you didn't do it almost note for note, a box on your house, right? Iron Maiden, the same thing. Luke, I mean, do you guys really try to, make sure that you put that stuff together and get it right?
Yeah, it's super important for us to stay focused on what we're doing and try to make the best show we can with the less mistakes that we can possibly do. I guess everybody makes mistakes here and there, but hopefully we're holding it together anyways.
Yeah, and doing a great job. Look, guys, I'm going to end this for segment 1 so that we have a lot for segment 2. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about what you guys have upcoming. And, dare I say, I think it'd be cool if we could get a Side Hustle Faultline show going sometime really soon. Maybe get you guys up in this neck of the woods and kind of showcase you for some folks up here. But we'll talk about that in the next segment after this.